Okay, so now it's time to make all that magic happen. So let's go to our JS folder, open core.js, and we're going to start with the var system object equals and two curly brackets. We're basically creating a new object, a new JavaScript object. We're going to start with the first method, which is called run function. And inside of this function, the specific method, we're going to call three other methods, which will be created inside of the same object. First will be this content, and we're going to put the parameter in navigation ULLIA. So whenever we click on the link in the navigation, we obviously want something to happen. Then we have this dot pop, and the last one will be this dot run timer. And we start with number 1. Runtime is basically this counting element on a page. You don't have to do it really, but we'll go through this as well, just so you know how to create something like this. Now, before we move any further and start creating other methods, let's call this specific run method from within document ready. So function, and inside system object dot run. That's all we need to do inside of the DOM. Then after the run, we start with the content method, which is function, and we take object as parameter. Then we start object live. On click, we execute function. Now var this URL equals this attribute href. Var this title equals this attribute title. Now system object and method called load, which we'll create in the next video. This URL we pass in as the parameter. Now window dot history dot push state, and we passing null this title and then this URL. And then E, prevent default. Okay, I've forgotten to actually use this event here, so we need to obviously pass the E as the event to this specific function on click. So we obviously don't want the page to reload or anything like this, so that's why we prevented default. We could use return false, but prevent default is one of the jQuery's method. And since we're using jQuery here, let's stick to this one. Okay, so that's our content. Let's create another one called pop. Function, and we go for window dot on pop state equals function, then system object load, and we're going to load location path name, basically the previous or next page. Obviously here we need the semicolon as well. So these are content and pop methods. Now I haven't quite explained what this pushState, these parameters which are taken by this pushState method do. First one we set to null because we're not going to be using this for any purposes. Basically in this first parameter you can put any data that you would later use on popState, basically popState method. We're not going to be using any of this, so that's why I've set it to null. You could use it as an array basically, or create an object with parameters and methods and then use it inside of the popState method. But as I'm saying, we're not going to be using it for anything, that's why I've set it to null. Second parameter is the title, basically, which you want to associate with the specific URL. We're taking this title from our template. As you can see, all of our links have title, which is basically the same as the text in between the opening and closing A tag. So we taking this title from here and setting this as a second parameter, and the third parameter is the URL to which we want to basically put in the URL field. So that's what this pushState method. These are the parameters this specific method is taking.